we're all about to get fired from Twitter. I've been here 9 years and 9 months now. Same with you. How long were you here?
4 years.
4 years?
2 months.
I think it might be over for Twitter. And that's not hyperbole. You know, I was kind of joking and with Musk making all sorts of bad decisions and how giddy I was about the destruction of Twitter, but I didn't really believe it until now.
Welcome to Finance Capital, where we visualize finance from the world's brightest minds. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to us.
So apparently, remember, Musk gave his employees, whatever remains of the employees at Twitter, an ultimatum. Either you have to agree to be hardcore and work 80 hours a week, or you gotta leave and you'll get paid 3 months severance. Well, it turns out that roughly 75% of the remaining 3,700 Twitter employees have not opted to be more hardcore, and they've decided to take the severance. So Twitter doesn't have the workforce necessary, the employees necessary to run.
And take a look at this. This is the company headquarters in San Francisco. Last night, someone took it upon themselves to troll the mogul with a number of projected messages such as bankruptcy baby and quote, worthless billionaire.
Elon Musk's Twitter teeters on the edge after another 1,200 leave. Mr. Musk sent emails on Friday asking to learn about Twitter's underlying technology as key infrastructure teams have been decimated. So many workers have left that Twitter users have questioned whether the site would survive. Elon Musk sent a flurry of emails to Twitter employees on Friday morning with a plea. According to the New York Times, Elon Musk wrote a 2-paragraph message which said, "Anyone who actually writes software, please report to the 10th floor at PM today. Thanks, Elon." About 30 minutes later, Mr. Musk sent another email saying he wanted to learn about Twitter's tech stack, a term used to describe a company's software and related systems. Then in another email, he asked some people to fly to Twitter's headquarters in San Francisco to meet in person. Following Mr. Musk's $44 billion purchase of Twitter last month, the company is on the verge of collapse. The billionaire has worked tirelessly to impose his vision on the social networking platform, laying off 50% of its staff, sacking critics, exploring new subscription services, and sending a stern warning that the business must change or risk bankruptcy. The question now is how far Mr. Musk, 51, has gone, following a deadline set by Mr. Musk for them to decide whether to stay or leave. Hundreds of Twitter employees abruptly left their positions on Thursday. When so many employees decided to go, Twitter users started to wonder if the service would survive. They tweeted their goodbyes to the platform and made hashtags like #TwitterMigration and #TwitterTakeover into trending topics. According to the New York Times internal estimate, at least 1,200 full-time workers resigned on Thursday. At the end of October, Twitter had 7,500 full-time employees. After a wave of layoffs earlier this month, that number was down to approximately 3,700. The layoffs are taking place as Twitter experiences one of its busiest periods for website visits. According to SimilarWeb, a digital intelligence platform that measures web traffic, the World Cup, which starts on Sunday, is likely to generate a flood of traffic to Twitter, which is currently the 4th most visited website in the world. According to estimates from SimilarWeb, Twitter has 6.9 billion monthly visitors, slightly higher than Instagram's 6.4 billion, but much less than Google, YouTube, or Facebook. As the dust settles on the exits, it's possible that staff numbers will fluctuate because it's unclear who is in charge of keeping track of employees and managing other workplace processes. Some departing workers claimed they were cutting off communication with the business by turning off their email and signing out of the Slack internal messaging platform because human services representatives were not available. How Twitter can continue to operate following the drastic drop in its workforce in such a short period of time may now be the most important question. According to those with insider information, the company's technical teams have been affected by the layoffs and resignations. Multiple workers from across the world resigned from one team known as Twitter Command Center, a 20-person organization important to preventing outages and technological breakdowns during high-traffic events. According to 2 former employees, the core services team, which oversees computing architecture, was reduced from more than 100 members to only 4. There were no members left on other teams that deal with how media appears in tweets or how follower counts are displayed on profiles. Senior software engineer Peter Klaus tweeted on Thursday regarding the losses on his team. Wednesday offered a clean exit, and 80% of the remaining were gone. 3/75 of the engineers remained. He announced his resignation on Twitter on Thursday. According to 4 people with knowledge of the project, Mr. Musk is also thinking about closing one of Twitter's 3 primary U.S. data centers, known as SMF1, in Sacramento, California, which houses the data necessary to run the social media platform. If the data center in Sacramento is shut down, the company's data centers in Atlanta and Portland, Oregon, may have less capacity for backup computing in the event that something goes wrong. Former employees claimed that although Twitter is still in operation, it may be more difficult for the firm to address significant problems as they arise. A former Twitter programmer compared the present status of the service to the Looney Tunes cartoon character Wile E. Coyote. As he jumps down a cliff, he may continue to run while in midair for a while, but as soon as he looks below, he falls like a stone. According to Richard Forno, the associate director of the Center for Cybersecurity at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, the larger and more prominent a platform is, the more care and feeding is needed to keep it running and maintain the expectations of the users. It's a very difficult task. Mr. Musk and representatives for Twitter did not respond to requests for comment. On Twitter late Thursday, Mr. Musk professed confidence that the service would be fine. "The best people are staying, so I'm not super worried," he tweeted. Prior to now, Fortune stated that between 1,000 and 1,200 Twitter employees have left their positions. The information already covered a few problems with Twitter's infrastructure. Previous reports about departures from the Twitter command center were published by The Verge. Senior engineers are often in charge of keeping sites like Twitter operational, since they must continually protect against cyberattacks and monitor web traffic to make sure servers are not overwhelmed, according to Dr. Forno. According to him, challenges could arise if too many seasoned workers leave, leaving Twitter without the knowledge or personnel needed to monitor or swiftly resolve problems. While many technical difficulties can be resolved remotely, Dr. Forno warned that some may call for employees at Twitter's data centers spread out across the nation. Users of Twitter are unlikely to suddenly lose access to the service if problems arise, at least not at first. However, users can start to notice a lot of bugs on Twitter and timelines might start refreshing more slowly. He compared it to putting a car on the road, pressing the accelerator, and then jumping out. How far will it travel before collapsing? The remaining Twitter staffers on Friday expressed confusion over Mr. Musk's shifting instructions. On Thursday in the late afternoon, the corporation announced that our office buildings would close and employee badge access would be suspended until Monday. However, Mr. Musk seemed to want to speak with executives in person at the company's San Francisco offices in his emails from Friday. Additionally, it was difficult for staff members to determine who was still employed and which parts of the infrastructure required additional assistance to keep operations running smoothly. One employee who wanted to quit claimed that she had spent 2 days looking for her manager because she had lost track of her manager's identification due to the high number of resignations in the days prior. She finally located her immediate boss and submitted her letter of resignation. The following day, her boss also left. Others were wasting hours attempting to determine which teams they belonged to. According to several, they were required to supervise tasks they had never before managed. Employees claimed that there was a near total lack of internal communication during the adjustments. The internal communications team at Twitter has been terminated or left, and employees said that they are now turning to news sources for information. Over the past few months, Mr. Musk has minimized the importance of traditional media, identifying Twitter as one of the best venues for the emergence of citizen journalism, as he described it. Feel free to let us know your thoughts on the comment section below, and if you enjoyed our content, Please like the video, hit the subscribe button and share it with a friend.